We're on page 7 and 8. Al beinahu vecha Yizekama Nifsov Nifsavti Lirot Tiferet Musecha Hamda Bibi Vechosana Ve'alti Salem Higalena Fros Havi Allah Shelomecha Ta'iveret Michvodecha Nagila Venismecha Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la Shabbos, everybody. Good Shabbos.
Shabbos.
Oh, it's a special Shabbos. Shabbos comes every week. What's so special about the Shabbos, you know? Shabbos Shuva comes once a year. The Shabbat between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur is called Shabbat of Returning. So if you're returning to Romemu for the first time, we welcome you this year. If you're here for the first time, of course we welcome you. But the Shabbat of reading the words of someone who lived a long, long time ago, named Hosea or Moshe, who said, Shuva Yisrael ad Hashem Elokecha ki chashalta ba'avonecha kechu imachem dvarim v'shuvu el Hashem. Hosea looking out at an exhausted and maybe people that had gone astray, they were a little bit lost, they were worried about the future. He said, there's no time like now to come home. You can always come back. And so we're so blessed that we have a chance to do tshuva together. Rav Kook said it's the healthiest thing to do, so you have to get a tshuva checkup as often as possible. It's like you go and say, I need an RX, I need some kind of prescription for tshuva. Alignment, attunement, that's the way I like to think about it. Tshuva as attunement. So on page 6, we attune together as we welcome Shabbat with Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hashem, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Amlachi, HaKadosh Baruch Boachem leshalom, lachei hashalom, malachei elyon, mi melech malchei amlachi, hakadosh baruch hu,
Baruchuni leshalom, Malachei
Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Amlachi, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Amlachi, הקדוש ברוך הוא.
יא לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 לה.
הקדוש ברוך הוא, הקדוש ברוך הוא.
So, as I said, it's a special Shabbat. It comes only once a year. And then I was thinking to myself, what are other things that only come once a year? In the liturgy that we have for Yom Kippur, it says Achas B'Shana. It comes once a year. But also Nadav from Eretz Yisrael, once a year, and hopefully more. Exactly. So beautiful to have you on Shabbat Shuva, as usual, coming back to this community that you built with us. We enter Kabbalat Shabbat together on page 9 and 10. L'chuni ranina.
הילכו נרננה לאדוני נריה הילצו ישנו נקד I betoda bizmirot nari alo kiel gadol
Infinite is a generous mind and a great
asher miyado
firms earth edges.
asher lo hayam
Mountain peaks make sea shapes land come. Let us bow. Sarah blessing the for the breath and
Arba'im shana akod bedor va'omar am to'ei levav heim veheim lo yado derachai asher nishbati beyapi im yevohu el menuchati שירו לאדוני שיר חדש שירו לאדוני כל
Page 11.
שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו ועשו מיום ליום ישועתו
עושה ברוב הגויים יבודו בכל העמים נתלותה כי גדול אדוני ומולל מאוד נורא הוא על כל אלוה איי 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 כי
יכול אלוהי עמים אלילים ואדוני שמיים עשה היי הו 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 עוד ביד לפניו
עוז
בתפארת במקדשו
הרבו לוויה בשביל כל דמים הרבו לאדוני עבוד ועוז, רחמו לאדוני כבוד שמו, שאו מיניך ובאו לחצרותיו, השתחוו לאדוני בהדרת קודש, חילו מפניו כל הארץ, הגויים אדוני מלך, אל תיכון תבל ואל תימות, יעדין עמי במישרים, ישמחו השמיים ותגל הארץ, ירם בים מאור מללו, יעלו שדה וכל אשר בו, זירננו כל הצגה יואר לפני אדוני, on the bottom of the same page, Ya'alo Sadai, Chol Asher Bo, Alo Sadai, ay 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 ay, Ya'alo Sadai, Chol Asher Bo, Lo, bottom of page 12, ay 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 ay.
זירננו כל עצי זירננו כל עצי זירננו כל עצי זירננו כל עצי יעלו שדי כל אשר בו יעלו שדי יעלו שדי וכל אשר בו יעלו שדי עוז ירננו כל עצי יואב עוז ירננו כל עצי יואב עוז ירננו כל עצי כל עצי everyone יעלו שדי וכל אשר בו יעלו שדי איי 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 יעלו שדי כל אשר בו יעלו שדי איי 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 עוז ירננו כל עצי יואב עוז ירננו כל עצי יואב עוז ירננו Zeranenu Kol Atzeya. Please rise. Psalm 29 on page 20. Hey. Ha.
I mizmor leDavid, havu l'Adonai b'nei elim, havu l'Adonai kavod va'od. Elai, havu l'Adonai gevod shemo, ishtachavu l'Adonai be'adrat kodesh. Kol Adonai al hamayim el hakavod erim Adonai al mayim rabim Kol Adonai ba'koach Shaber Adonai et arzei alvanon vayakadei kemo egel vanon nesin kemo egel ay levanon vesirion kemo vereimim ay Kol Adonai chotzer labot, Kol Adonai yachil midbar, yachil Adonai midbar kodesh, Kol Adonai cholel hayalon vayechesov, ye'od veichalo. Omer kavod Adonai lamabul yeshab yeshiv Adonai melech halalele Adonai le'amo yitein Adonai yevarech damo v'shalom Aylalai
Adonai oz le'amo yiten, Adonai yivarech et amo b'shalom. You may be seated, everyone, as we turn page 21, 22. אנא בכוח גדולת ימינך תתיר צורה. קבל בינת עמך, סגבנו, טהרנו נורא. So the words of this prayer, this tefillah, are attributed to Nechunya ben Akana. It's like an early sage of the Mishnaic period, like 2nd century, 3rd century.
And he was the founder of a school of mystical thought in Judaism. And so this prayer has a lot of mystical significance and the number of letters and which letter. But sometimes you don't need mystical treaties to bring you into the deep. You just need a line that says, turn to those who remember the holy. And to remember the holy is, it's not easy. To forget the holy is kind of easier in a way. But then when we remember, when I remember, I feel like, oh, it's something that I've never not known. Do you know what I mean? It's like the holy is something that's so familiar, and yet it's also so easy for it to become foreign. I'm like, oh, I know this feeling. I don't often have it like in Ubers and subways. I mean, it's true, it's there too. It's there, it's everywhere. Leit atar panui minei. There's no place where the holy is not. The holy is in the eyes of the beholier, the holder. But sometimes you walk into a place and think, oh, wow, this place has I remember that, right? I remember that. It's like, And it could be when we're with someone and I remember, right? I feel it so thickly during this time of the year. Like, I almost feel like even if you weren't with us for Rosh Hashanah is with us. You know? It's like all of the prayers that we prayed and the heart opening, and then you just blow on it like an ember, and it's like, oh, it's right there. Yachid ge'eh le'amcha fenei zochrei kedushatecha. Yachid ge'eh le'amcha fenei zochrei kedushatecha. Secha Yachid li'amcha fenei zochrei kedusha secha Irinai Ainai Irinai Oh, So if your eyes are not closed and you feel comfortable closing them, let's just close our eyes for 2 minutes and bask in the residual sound that's in this room, and also the silence that's always in this room and in every space. And just imagining that the greatest gift that you can give yourself at this moment is just this silence. As you sit, allow your shoulders to relax. Feel the space behind you as safe, and above you and in front of you as shamur, completely protected on all sides, so that you can fully inhabit your body and relax. And as you breathe, just noticing the quality of your exhale as you relax and allow your body to really release each breath before taking another one. And so the beginning of Shabbat is in the beginning of noticing without doing. And what can you notice at this moment? Sounds, whatever else is already happening without your effort. How might you just not interfere with whatever is? Breathe. You can stay in silence or open your eyes, or keep your eyes closed and stay in silence. I'm just going to read a poem that randomly appears from this beautiful book called God's Optimism by a poet named Yehoshua November. Okay, we'll see. The title is, Already I Feel Like an Old Man. Married at 22, they ask, but that's so young. Yet in the gray shtetls of Russia, less than a century ago, a violin mender's apprentice might marry at 17. His bride, the bean merchant's daughter, only 15. Both quite certain of their purpose. He returning home each evening with a loaf of dark bread in his fist, speaking of the rain. She cooking lentil soup in winter. This is our lineage. Besides, I could not imagine being alone in that way again. And what would the Sabbath be without you? Already I feel like an old man. All those mornings I awoke like a traveler in a rented room who in the darkness mistakes the blankets and sheets for his own and wonders who moved the lamp to the other side of the bed. Yeah. On page 23 and 24. Lecha dodi. Lecha badodi. Li yikas kala. Yenei Shabbat.
שמור וזכור בדיבורך השמיענו אל המיוחד אדוני אחד שמו אחד לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה לך בדודי Li yikas Shabbos nega belay lay Likrat Shabbat lechovel melcha ki
הברכה מראש מקדם נגסוך
סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה
לך
דודי לי מקדש מלך עיר מלוכה קומי צאי מתוך אפיך רב לך שבט בימי קבחה והוא יחמול עלייכם
לך על יד בני
תלחמי
נפשי לך
דודי ליקת עליו התעוררי כי באורך קומי אורי שיר דברי כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה
לא תבושי ולא
תקדמי מה תשתוכחי ומה תהמי רוח יחסו עניי עמי ונבנה שער אל תילות
אומר לך דודי אומר לי כאן
בני שבות לילה נקלה והיו למשיסה שועוסייך ורחקו כל מבלייך יוסיס עלייך אלוהייך כמסוס חתן על גלו
לילה לך דודי אמר לי כאן סקלות אומר בני שבת בני שבת Kabbalat Shabbat
ושמאלתי יפרוצי ואת אדוני תריצי על ידי איש בן פרצי
ונשמחה
ונגילו
אמרו לך דודי אמבני לקראת קלה אמבני בני שבת בני שבת מקבלו אמבנו אוי אוי לך דודי הלילה כלכלה אמבני בני שבת מקבלו אמבני 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 לך דודי אמבני לקראת קלה Please rise בואי בשלום עטרת בעלה
גם בשמחה
ובצולה
תוך אמוני
עם סגולה
בואי קלה שבת המלכה לך דודי בני שבת
Page 27 and 28. Mizmor Shir Yom HaShabbat. Special psalm for Shabbat. גדול אדוני לזמר לשמך עליון להגיד בבוקר חסדך ומנוסך בלילות. מה גדול מעשיך עולם גומה שווה זה משבת השבת. On the bottom of page 28.
צדיק אתה
יפרח כארץ בלבנון יזכה שטובו לי בבית אדוני בחצרות אלוהינו יפריחו הוד ינון בסייבה דשנים ורעננים יהיו להגיד כי ישר אדוני צורי ולא עוולתה בו. We rise for the healing prayer for this evening. On page 30, in the middle of the page. Anna elna rifana la becharos la אז תתחזק ותתרפא והייסה לה שמחת עולם. אנא אל נא רפאנה בחרוס נועם זיווך אז תתחזק ותתרפא והייסה לה שמחת עולם. מי שברך אבותינו ואמותינו, הוא יברך וירפא את כל החולים. בעבור שכל הקהל הקדוש הזה מתפללים בעבורם בלב נשבר וברוח מלא. אנא בעל הרפואה, שלח רפואת הנפש ורפואת הגוף לכל חולי העולם. תן בליבם תקווה ואהבה. And give us and our hands strength to lift them up and to hold them for the sake of healing for the entire planet. Venoma. Amen. Please be seated, everyone. How do you all have koyach? I don't know. How do you have so much strength? It's amazing. It's a long week, and plus Rosh Hashanah, and then Yom Kippur is coming up, and you're all so full of chizuk and strength. It's amazing. Kol hakavod lachem. First of all, if you're here for the first time, we want to welcome you. So anybody here for the first time, we'd love to say hello. Any first timers? Yeah, you can stand up and.
Shabbat Shalom, my name is Alex. I'm from Morningside.
That was funny. That was great. Okay. So Morningside, meaning like around the corner. Awesome. Yeah, I'm right here.
Hi, I'm Will, and I just moved here from the San Francisco Bay Area.
Welcome.
Here we go.
Hi, I'm Anna, and that's my husband, Caleb. Longtime New Yorkers, came here like 10 years ago, and today decided to come back. Yeah. No, it was in the church, long ago. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, and like just randomly decided you're going to go to shul. Nice. That's perfect. This shul, to a shul, and now you're on the upper side. You have a lot of options. Amazing. Thank you for being here with us, choosing this one. Anybody else? Okay. I'm liking using this. Let's do that. Did I mention it's Yom Kippur this weekend? I mentioned that, right? Yom Kippur, this coming Sunday night, of course, Kol Nidre, starts at 6:30. It's not too late to register with us. We still have some availabilities. If you have nowhere to go, definitely reach out to us. I mean, obviously, we would love it for you to join us. The holidays, so the holidays don't end with Yom Kippur. Someone wrote that. That's great. The holidays don't end with Yom Kippur. Sukkot is next week, after the Chagim, after Yom Kippur, rather, and there are meals in the Sukkah. The Sukkah will be, looks like it's going to be our last year with the Sukkah here in this building. I know, it's sad, but we'll find another Sukkah. So the Sukkah on the roof will be open this week. Meals will be in the Sukkah, next week, rather, during Sukkot. It'll be open every evening. So let us know. And Simchas Torah will be on the streets, right, Jeff? We're going to be dancing in the streets. Oh, what a feeling to be dancing on that street ceiling. I don't know, over there. We're going to be singing over there. And, tomorrow, more proximate, tomorrow our Shabbat Shuva Lunch and Learn will be right after services here in the Romemu Center.
and the learning will start around 12:45 or 1 on Zoom. Because of Shabbat Shuva, there will be no open book tomorrow morning. And so our open book will be the Lunch and Learn. Okay, everybody? Any questions? Yeah. Jeff? Thank you for asking that, Jeffrey. Yom Kippur services are going to be at our second church home on 83rd Street, on 83rd between Amsterdam and between Columbus and Amsterdam at Redeemer. I think it's 83rd Street between Columbus and Amsterdam. Any other questions? Any other thoughts? Anybody? We're so happy to see people who hasn't been here in a long time, like took the summer off or they were back. Also, welcome back, members of our community. It's so great to see all of you. It's so great to see everybody here with us. We're going to rise to do some more singing. It was beautiful to sing, right? Just like we just sing together. Something happens, right? Just like, this week's Parsha is Hazinu Hashamayim. It's Hazinu. It's Parshat Hazinu. It's a song that Moshe Rabbeinu, that Moses sings. Anybody know that Moshe was a singer? How does that happen, right? Moshe is a singer. He sings 2 songs. He sings Shirat HaYam and Hazinu. So because he's a Levite, and Levites were the singers, right? So Moshe Rabbeinu was a Levite. So he had to sing. Moshe was like in Happy Feet, It's like they're all singers, and he's a dancer. So like they're all. So he's like, Moshe is like, he doesn't sing and he doesn't speak. He's like not a speaker. But then all of a sudden, somehow through the Torah purifies him. He becomes what he was always meant to be. He sings a song. So the Torah is called a song. Sima Shira Zot Bepihem. The Torah is a song. So we always have to sing Torah. There's something that happens when we sing. Our voices meld, and right. The Torah is made up of so many different letters, but the letters, without the words, without the paragraphs, without the whole scroll, without us holding it and listening. If a song is sung in a shul and no one's there to hear it and sing it, is it really a song, right? So it's a song. So let's rise together and sing together this melody called Tishrei. Ay, 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 da, da. Ay, 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 ay. Yama, my, 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 my. Yama, my, my, my. Na, 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 na. Yama, my, my, my. את אדוני המבורך, ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד. We can be seated on page 33 and 34. We continue. שבדבריו מעריבה רבים בחוכמה פותחת שערים בתבונה משרתים ומחליפת הזמנים הסדרת את הכוכבים השלמים. אלא חיה וקיימת, תמיד תמלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. רוחת שכינה המריבה ערבים המים May we have the strength to let go. Evening turns into night, and day turns to night. Gift of impermanence. Avas Olam Beit Yisrael. Let's return the page. Torah mitzvot chokim mishpatim otanim mata kein Adonai Eloheinu. May the blessing of love be felt in our lives. May we be the source of blessing and love for others in our life. Did we put more love into the world today? That's our everyday question. May the love we feel from your presence, Shekhinah, give us the strength to listen more deeply. V'ahavatcha al tasim mimenu le'olami. Baruch ata Adonai ohev amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
Ve'ahavta es Adonai Elohecha
בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך
היום על לבביך ושינתם לבניך ודיברת בם וישבתך בביתך
ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם להיות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך.
הים שמעו תשמעו מצוותיי אשר אנוכי מצווה אתכם היום לאהבת לכם ותאכל וחש. ונעשיתי מדרתכם בתור יום הכל שאספת דגניך ותירשך ויצערך ונתתי עשב ושאתך לבנתך ואכלת ושבעת ושמרו לכם בין נפתה לבבכם on page 41. On page 43, ויאמר אדוני משה לאמור דבר אל בני ישראל ויאמרת עליהם ויעשו להם את ציצית על כאן ויבידיהם לדורותם לתמול ציצית. קרפתי אותך לדברך מציץ. למען תסגרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים אלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אדוני אלוהיכם אמן. Page 47 and 48. הרבנים את גבורתו שיבחו. On page 48, in the middle of the page. מי כמוך
Bailim Adonai Mi chamocha Nedar b'kodesh In Orah Tehilot Oseh Feleh Malechutecha Ra'u banecha Bokei hayam Lifnei Moshe u'Miriam Zeili Anu ve'amru Adonai imlo Le'olam va'ed Lai 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 la Lai 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 la la Lai 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 la Hai lai 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 נאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גל ישראל
On page 49. So beautiful, right? So beautiful. So beautiful, right? This man, Shoshana, Nadav, all of you and your voices, right? It's amazing.
השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום העמידנו מלכנו לחיים ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך השכיבנו
אדוני אלוהינו לשלום העמידנו מלכנו לחיים לחיים
ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך. ברוך אתה אדוני,
ברוך שמו.
פורס סוכת שלום עלינו, ועל כל עמו ישראל, ועל כל יושבי תבל, ועל ירושלים.
Amen. Please rise for Vishamru at page 51.
Ay ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, אוי לעשות את השבת לדותם ברית עולם. אוי 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 ביני ובני ישראל אותי לעולם. אוי ששת ימים עשה אדוני שמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת וינפש.
חצי קדיש on page 52. יסקדל ויסקדש שמי רבה. על מה דברה חידוסי וימליך מלכוסי וחיי
חון וביומי חון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה בעגלה ובזמן קריב בינינו, אמן. יהי שמי רב המבורך לעולם ולעולמי עולמיה, יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דאמירן ביולמה. And let us say, Amen.
That can be found on page 56. A remarkable thing happened this week to me. Sometime in the fall, no, sometime in the spring, I wrote an op-ed that appeared in the Daily News, and it was connected to the social issue that we're working hard here in the shul on mandating that all clergy become reporters, mandated or mandatory reporters if they are giving information about abuse or any other kind of maltreatment of children. So I wrote an op-ed in the Daily News, and I shared it with a colleague. And she wrote back to me this week, and she told me that her institution is a well-known institution here in New York, a religious institution that advocates for social change, and their tagline is "Trouble the waters." Trouble the waters. And she said that their institution had done a strategic plan, and they'd asked themselves if really what the world needs now is more troubling of the waters. And what she decided was that no, and she and the group decided that really, right now, as a religious institution, they needed to be calming the waters, bringing more calm. Now, some of you might be thinking, does that mean no one should trouble the waters? Some of you might be thinking, oh, does that mean that everything is status quo, that we shouldn't be protesting down like Nadav was today, Baruch Hashem, down at I think the largest protest, he told me the largest protest that there is thus far, and colleagues of mine and others were there justifiably and rightfully protesting. Right, of course, there's what to do in the world that needs to be troubled. A lot of waters that are overly calm and placid in places that need to have it turned over and over again. But she said, no, I think that what we need more is calming the waters. And I couldn't help but thinking about that when looking at the pasuk, the verse in this week's Torah portion, where God says in Parshat Azinu, God says, "See then that I am the one, there is no God beside me. I deal death and I give life. I wounded and I will heal. I wounded and I will heal." Dr. Erica Brown writes beautifully about how often God is spoken of in the Torah as the healer. God is a healer. How remarkable that is to think that the model of power is also the model of healing. The one who has power also is instructed to bring healing. That to be in a position of leadership or to be in a position of influence means that we have a responsibility to be a healing presence, to use the phrase of Lord Rabbi Jonathan Sacks, to be a healing presence for others. To be a healing presence for others. That leaders and all of us, in our own ways, to be a leader is to be a healing presence for someone in some capacity. We don't often think of that when we think of leadership. If, I have a friend, and I'm going to quote him in my Kol Nidre sermon, used to be here at Romemu and was the board chair for a number of years and is a really incredible coach and works in that field. And I read a book that he just recently put out this week about becoming coachable, which I recommend for everybody. Coaching is incredible, and becoming coachable is even more important. But I was flipping through the book and I was thinking, what about healing? Like, leaders are taught, of course, empathy now and wonderful things, more than, right, the old adage of the leader who was the ambitious driver, competitive and making sure that profits and bottom lines. Okay, we have conscious leadership now. And conscious leadership, of course, is used to optimize what used to be competitive goals now are optimized through non-competitive means. You become a more efficient leader, you become a better leader, right? All these measurables, but there's no metric for how healing a presence you are. Like the people who walk into your office or who work for you, of course, you're thinking, oh, we have work to get done, and certainly I know that. I'm a rabbi here, but I work in institutions and other places where we have things to get done. But like, what a remarkable notion that God, as it were, the experience of the divine is that the experience of one who has power is also the one who knows how to heal what ails us. As part of what we might emulate. We might ask ourselves a question like, in what ways am I a healing presence to others? In what ways do others feel that in my presence healing might be effectuated or might take place? And one of the principal ways that happens is that in leadership we model being a healing presence because we're healing ourselves. That we recognize that in the game of life, all of us carry wounds, and the wounded healer, as the great Henri Nouwen wrote, the great Christian theologian, the wounded healer is the one who is perceived as authentic because they are coming from a heart wounded by the suffering about which they speak. They're not just speaking it, but they know it intimately, right? We know when someone's like, in their BS, right? It's like they're just talking about it, but they haven't really been there. I'm just thinking about the Indigo Girls and the great line, right? The doctor of philosophy, right? Who spoke about, the world but never experienced it. So to be a healer, to be a Ni Hashem Rafecha, God says, I am your healer, means that also, like, I know the wounds too. And this brings us to a much bigger idea, which is that in some profound sense, each and every year, as we think about the year ahead, it's clear to us that our suffering is not only our suffering, but the suffering of the Shekhinah, the suffering of the divine. And that the reason why God can, as it were, be a Rofeh, can be a Rofeh Cholim, can be with us in a healing presence is because on some profound level, and we know this to be true in our own experience, that we are part of the great all that is, and when something hurts in the all, it hurts all. So this week's Parsha brings us a wounded healer, Moshe Rabbeinu, who when we're first introduced to Moshe, he's complaining that he doesn't know how to speak. He's kvad peh uchvad lashon. He says, I can't talk. I can't stand here like, Noah and sing. And by the end of the Torah, when we read Ha'azinu Hashamayim V'adaber, read a parsha where Moshe calls on the heavens and the earth and speaks poetry that to this day we are still speaking ourselves. Even as I utter these quotes, Moshe Rabbeinu is speaking through me, through you, through all of us. The one who couldn't speak speaks through all of us. And we get to sense that his own healing journey has come, right? We're witness to a leader who didn't stop trying to heal the wound that he was presented with. And that by the end of the Torah, to some extent, Moshe, who's kvad peh v'chlal lashon, he can't speak. He's pontificating and writing books of Torah. He's healed. So leaders, of course, who heal are courageous. And communities, and those, all of us, who are healing together are courageous. In that profound sense, it is kind of, we're all doing it together. We're all healing together. There is a story in the Talmud that Dr. Brown brings that I loved. I love this Gemara. We should study it one day. The Talmud says that there was once a dialogue between one of the great sages of the Talmud, Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi, and Eliyahu HaNavi, and Elijah the prophet. They happened into, you ever, on the Upper West Side, anybody ever knock into Elijah the prophet? You've heard it? Oh, you've heard? Okay, me too. It comes in dreams. It comes in, like, in the Talmud, it appears in all kinds of ways. It usually appears as a marginal character. In the Talmud, it'll be an Arab. Sometimes it'll be dressed up as an Arab, believe it or not. Other contexts. So Elijah happens into Joshua ben Levi, Yoshua ben Levi, and the rabbi says to him, to the prophet Elijah, right? And Elijah has inside information on when Messiah is coming, the Redeemer, when liberation will happen. He says, when will the Messiah come? Elijah replied, go ask him yourself. Go ask him yourself. So Yeshua said, do I have his address? Like, where do I know where he lives? So he said, he's at the gates of Rome. What are the gates of Rome? The gates of Rome is like a place where you wouldn't find the Messiah. If you were a rabbi at the time when Rome had just destroyed everything that we knew, you wouldn't expect the Messiah to be found in the gates of Rome. I don't know. We can all imagine analogies. I could come up with a couple, but they'll probably alienate at least half the room. Everybody different. What's Rome for you? Romemu. I don't know. What's Rome for you? Rabbi Yoshua asked, so wait a second, but how will I know and recognize him? At the gates of Rome, it's like Times Square. So like, go to Times Square, you'll meet the Messiah. Okay, anything else? Wearing anything? Look for, get a sketch. So Elijah says to him, he sits among the poor who suffer from various ailments, untying and tying their bandages. So this image, this beautiful image, Dr. Brown, I just have to say what she writes because she writes so beautifully. She writes, if you want to know where the Messiah is right now, look to the poor and the one who bandages the poor. If you want the Messiah to come, maybe you should do the same. I would say that on Shabbat Shuva, on this unique Shabbat where we see the remarkable healing of a leader, and we participate in that, and we hear of God's image as a healer, I want to just leave us with this question: in what ways am I a healing presence to others in my life? It might not be bandaging the bandages of the poor, but maybe like a little bit. How can I invite that frame when I'm with those around me, and in my work and in my home, that people leave me and say, oh, that was a healing. There's some healing presence. Not maybe Reiki, or maybe some hands-on, but just like asking ourselves that as a kind of like mantra. In this moment, am I being a healing presence with others? That's a great question, right? I'm so thankful to Dr. Brown for that beautiful Torah today, and all of those who contributed to this. It's a bracha for all of us as we make our journey towards Yom Kippur, to ask ourselves in what ways, small ways, we might make a difference in turning the world into a more blessed place. Okay, healers, let's rise for the Aleinu. והשבותה אל לבביך
אל לבביך כי אדוני
כי אדוני
הוא האלוהים והשבותה אל לבבך כי הוויה היא האלוהים היי ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
Please remain standing as we remember loved ones this evening. You can find the Mourner's Kaddish in a moment in the back of your CD room on page 115. As we move around the room, you can remain standing if you are in mourning. And in your standing, you're also, in some sense, outing yourself and asking others to see you in this place and in this space. So we invite names at this moment. Yeah. Jeremy. Theo. Shush. Online also some friends who have written in. We lift those names up. If you're accustomed to stand for the mourners, please rise. Yiskadal v'yiskadash mei rabah v'yomad yivrachi l'rusei v'yamlich machusei v'chayichon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael v'agalav v'zman kari v'imru amen Yeshmei rabah mivorach le'alam me'amaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekutsha brichu Le'ilah ule'ilah min kol brechata v'shirata tush bechata v'nechemata b'amiram b'oma v'imru yesh lameraba min shmaya v'chayim tovim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen Oseh shalom v'imromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru Yehi zichram baruch. We invite everybody to please rise. May the memory of those who have been remembered tonight be a blessing for you. Again, tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, we're not having open book tomorrow morning, just a reminder, and then we'll be having the after services lunch and learn in honor of Shabbat Shuva. Michaela, thank you so much for moderating, and Mo for being here on site. I'm sorry, is it? Let's see, is it? No, it's Danny online, and Mo's here. And Matt, thank you. Victor, Blanca, Lenore, Freddie, and Lorena. Gil is on security. Our davening team tonight, the remarkable Nadav, who's been with us for Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur now for over, I think, almost 10 years at this point, yeah? I can't imagine Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur without you. It's 10 years. 14? 13? Harbe, kiddo. I feel like an old man. That's the poem. I feel like an old man. Exactly. At least that time. And it's just, as I said over Rosh Hashanah, it's not, to me, it's not Rosh Hashanah without you, Nadav, Mamash. And such a bracha that your wife is here, Noah's here with the two boys, so it's really a blessing to be back. And who knows if things keep going the way they're going, I hope not, but maybe you'll come back to New York, we'll see. Who knows? That would be not a good thing, But Noah, of course. So we miss you so much here, and we're so happy whenever you come back. And we're going to try to figure out a way for you to bring you back as much as possible. And Shosh, of course, our drumbeat, our heartbeat. To all of you here, if you don't have a place yet for Yom Kippur, don't forget to let us know. You can find Kiddush on page 88.
ויכולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם. ויכל אלוהים ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה.
וישבות ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה. ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי.
ויקדש אותו כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. סברי מרנן רבותיי רבותיי, ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי הגפן.
אמן.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו בשבת קודשו ויעבר ברצון הנחילנו זיכרון למעשה בראשית כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש זכר ליציאת מצרים כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים בשבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
אמן. You know what I want to do? So we do, okay, we do that, sure. It's great, perfect.
Hey, la 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 ya la la hey ya la la hey ya la 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 ya la la did la 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 ya la la ose shalom imroma oh ya se shalom aleinu ve'al kol Israel.
Happy Shabbos, Jessica, Amy, Robin, Shabbos, and Joni, Jamie, Carl, Iva, David. Shabbos, Bruce, Shabbos, Jeffrey, Shabbos, Shabbat.
Shalom b'mroma b'mroma hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru amen. La 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 la. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru amen. La 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 ya la 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 ya 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 la 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 yo loy loy did I lay lay did I lay loy 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 yosem shalom b'mroma hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru amen. Shabbat shalom, good Shabbos.